Warehouse Wi-Fi solutions, reducing dead zones and boosting productivity. Reliable warehouse Wi-Fi is no longer a nice to have for UK manufacturers. It's a must have, and it touches every area of the business. Whether it's having reliable connectivity for autonomous vehicles, maybe for your ERP system integration, for barcode scanners, there's so many different uses for it. Also, it's not just about having good Wi-Fi for today, it's making sure that you future-proof yourself for tomorrow. As all of these devices keep evolving. Headsets, for example, 5 years ago they had a range of 50 meters, now they can have a range of up to 1 kilometer. Many facilities still struggle with getting good coverage of Wi-Fi across the entire facility, whether it's black spots or whether it's the materials used to build the facility. So we've come up with 5 areas that you need to check to make sure that your Wi-Fi does everything that it needs to do to help boost your productivity. Step 1 is to get a professional site survey done. You need to understand what you're dealing with. There's so many different variances. It's not just about having X amount of internet speed and then just pumping it into access points. You need to really understand how the building is built, where the different areas are going to be and what the ranges will be. And this is exactly what a site survey will do. The second area is making sure that you've got industrial access points. You don't want just the standard ones because they're not going to be up to the job. Now think about what an access point does. First of all, it needs to stretch far enough so that it gives a good solid signal to the device. The next thing it needs to do is to be able to handle enough connections. Many access points top out at either 25 or 50 simultaneous connections. And often if you're in a warehouse and you've got the different equipment that the warehouse is using, then when the additional employees come and start connecting their devices to it, it will overload the actual access point. So you're going to get natural drops through the hardware, not just the actual size and scope of what the access point could do. The third element is making sure that you create it as a mesh. Or if you've got different facilities that you want connected together and they're within 1 or 2 kilometers, then you could get directional antennas that will then enable you to bond the two together. But what you essentially want is an entire mesh. So this means that you can have multiple receivers, but they work as one, so that as you walk from one receiver to the next, your device wouldn't know any different because it's actually being pushed and pulled from one antenna to the next. So for example, antenna 1, it will hold the Wi-Fi signal on that device until the antenna, the second one, as you get closer to it and it knows that that's a better signal, then it will release from antenna 1 and grab from antenna 2. But it should do it in a seamless way so that you, the user, won't actually know that you've just gone from one antenna to another. The fourth area is about having segmented networks. So you've got the mesh part, so that essentially is one network, but within that you need to have segmented. This is mainly for cybersecurity and making sure that someone can't connect to the overall network because then they might have access to some devices that you don't want Joe Public to be able to access. And remember that you can have wide open networks, so as in one that won't take a password. You can have private, that means that you'll be able to see and scan for that network, but you won't be able to access it unless you've actually got the password. And the final one is that you can actually have invisible networks as well. And this is what you'd normally have the business critical devices connected to. And the way that this works is because you can't physically see them when you do a search, you need to manually put in the actual name of it and then the password. So anything like the computers that are within the facility, you will connect them to this invisible network rather than it being a network that a hacker could potentially scan, find and penetrate. The final fifth part is optimizing the network and the traffic of the network. So an example would be if there's certain times of the day when you know they're going to be busy because your vans, for example, are loading up, so you've got lots of traffic going through them, they're scanning on the barcodes. What you don't want is at exactly the same time doing a full cloud backup, because that's just going to take all of the bandwidth to potentially do the backup, and then your users will struggle and there'll be delays in the productivity. So you want to just understand when the busy times are on the network, and then have other automated tasks like system backups to be running when they're not busy times. So if your manufacturing operations are being slowed down or restricted by not having the right Wi-Fi, then Syn-Star can help. Please click on the link below to book a free telecoms and connectivity demo.